Hi guys, it's Carol. How are you? I am wonderful. I am wonderful. I'm not going to describe anything, but I want to tell you I had that procedure today. It was the nicest experience to be a colonoscopy, I think. Anyway, uh, most of you seem to have already had a colonoscopy, but a couple of you haven't. So I'm going to pass on some of your advice. The prep you have to drink is nasty. Why on earth can they not put that medication in a capsule and let you just swallow it? That's what we need, people. Somebody invent that. The drinking the prep was absolutely gross, but I used a straw. Otherwise, I couldn't have gotten it down. It was just yucky. And I just love food. I do. I just love food, and I love my Dr. Pepper. Not eating for a day honestly wasn't bad. In fact, in my younger years, I used to fast once a month, and so I'm familiar with that, with not eating for an entire day, and it doesn't kill you. Um, but I enjoy food. Well, Sunday, I just had liquids. I didn't have broth, although they told me I could have broth, but I just can't do broth. Can't do that. Um, but I had water, Dr. Pepper, Squirt, which is a grapefruit type soda that I love, Gatorade, and lemon jello. And I was good. But by Monday morning, I was hungry. I just love to laugh at myself. Um, After I got the prep over with, I wasn't worried about having this at all. I just have always had a really calm, peaceful feeling about what the results are going to be and everything. And they were good. He assured Casey that he did not see any cancer. He removed 4 polyps, and they'll send them to pathology, but he felt comfortable saying they weren't cancer either. I'm good. But this is in a medical building. You didn't have to go to a hospital. And this doctor, I told you I thought he was just absolutely wonderful. I wish every doctor on earth had his demeanor and his compassion and his aura, whatever. He is just the kindest gentleman. He is very soft-spoken, and I didn't wear my hearing aids because I would have had to take them out. So I couldn't understand a word he said. But anyway, you go to his medical building, and they took me back. Every single person that helped me there, from the receptionist where you sign in all the way through, was just incredibly nice. I'm going to send them all a thank you note tomorrow. But anyway, this RN took me back. I love it that they had name tags I could read. So I knew she was an RN and her name was Ann. Anyway, she took me back and told me, explained about putting this gown on, and took my blood pressure. Oh, let me tell you about my blood pressure. I've never had to take blood pressure medication, but there was a time when my blood pressure was so high that my doctor said blood pressure medication may be next if I can't get it down. And so I did some research on Google and discovered that some people believe hibiscus tea lowers your blood pressure. Well, I was willing to try that. I drink an awful lot of hibiscus tea. That's all I drink during the daytime, almost entirely. But I make it very weak, and it doesn't have caffeine, and I barely put any sugar in it. Barely, just a smidgen. But anyway, I read that hibiscus tea will lower your blood pressure. I started drinking that every day, and my blood pressure has been down for 2 or 3 years now, to just a perfect place. And the RN, she took my blood pressure when this whole thing was over with, and she was telling my daughter that how great my blood pressure was, and I had the blood pressure of a teenager, and I know it's because I drink hibiscus tea. Now, it may be the placebo effect. I'm not giving out medical advice. I'm not telling you definitely hibiscus tea will take care of your blood pressure problems. But for me, it did. Whether it was a placebo effect or it really does, I don't know. But hey, I have great blood pressure. Anyway, moving on. They take me back and put the IV in and take my blood pressure then. And she told me how to put the gown on. And she said, he will come, we will take you to the surgical room. It's not surgery, but that's what it was on the door. We'll take you back in just a few minutes. It wasn't long at all. I had not gotten much sleep at all. I was practically asleep when they came to get me because I was up till like 4 in the morning. But anyway, then they took me to this room where all the instruments and everything were, and another lady came in and talked to me. She did some things to the machines. I don't know what her job was, but anyway, she was super, super sweet to me. Her name was Sandy. And then an anesthesiologist came in and told me he was the anesthesiologist. He was super kind to me. And there was another nurse, and I didn't get her name, but she was wonderful to me too. Anyway, all I remember is I'm in a hospital bed. They moved me down to this surgical room, procedure room, and all of this took place really quickly. Just in minutes. The anesthesiologist was inserting the medication into my IV. That is the last thing I remember. I remember watching him take this syringe and go like that, and that is the last second I remember. The next second I remember, I was in a different room. Casey was there in that room, and I opened my eyes, and the nurse was holding a Dr. Pepper, a can of Dr. Pepper out for me. Always, anytime I've had any kind of procedure, it's been terribly difficult to get me to wake up from anesthesia. I guess my body says, oh, thank goodness we're sleeping. we're going to sleep. Anyway, Casey told the nurse, go over and tell her that if she will just wake up, she can have a Dr. Pepper. So the nurse went and got one and came back and told me, here's a Dr. Pepper for you. And I immediately woke up. Dr. Pepper. And then she and this other nurse that I didn't know her name. I'm so glad she told Casey that I was hungry. And when we were in that surgical room, when I was asleep, Casey couldn't go in there. The nurse said, your mom told us she wants to order a chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, okra, and a dinner roll. And I want it from Green Chili Willie's. Green Chili Willie's is a restaurant here in Amarillo that make good chicken fried steaks. I've only had one in my life. They're kind of pricey. I just thought that was a hoot. Here I'm having this procedure done, and I'm telling her, I want a chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, and fried okra. Woke me up with a Dr. Pepper. It was awesome. I was out from the time I saw him put the syringe in my IV. Oh, I do remember after I drank a couple of sips of my Dr. Pepper, I looked down and the IV was in my arm. And I said, oh, great, I've got an IV. Well, it's in there. Casey, let's just go over to the blood bank and let me donate some blood. And the nurse says, you can't leave here with an IV in your arm. Made sense to me. Got an IV in there? Well, let's go get some more things done. Donating blood does not hurt except for the prick when they put that IV in. So I wanted to get everything, all the worth I could out of that stick. She told me, besides, you can't donate blood today because you haven't eaten. Anyway, I was awake maybe 5 minutes and they let me leave. I know they told me you'll have to wait 30 minutes after the procedure. I guess I slept through 25 minutes in this recovery room because I was only awake like 5 minutes and they let me take my Dr. Pepper and leave. So there. And so I told Casey, oh, my eye itches. Sorry. Allergies. So I told Casey, well, let's go get a chicken fried steak for lunch. So we were going to stop at the United grocery stores here have a really nice deli, and they sometimes have chicken fried steak and all kinds of vegetables and stuff. It's a hot deli. So Casey said, we'll stop at United and see if we can get you a chicken fried steak. And she went in. They didn't have chicken fried steak, but they had chicken fingers. So she got those and mashed potatoes and gravy and green beans and fried okra and a dinner roll. I just ate a few bites of each thing and then I went to sleep. One of my subs had told me, you'll need to come home and go to bed because you'll need to sleep that off. And I did. I slept about, I'm going to say 4 hours, and Casey came over and woke me up just to make sure I was okay. My eye. Sorry about this. But anyway, that was a piece of cake. I had 4 polyps, but they're gone to pathology now, and I'm sure they're not cancer. I knew they weren't beforehand. And that doctor was so kind. He came in. You know, most of the doctors I've ever seen seem to think they're just barely under God. Or they're brusque and in a hurry and, you know, barely worth their time to listen to me. This man was so peaceful and compassionate. And I knew he was telling me something when he came into that room, but he patted me on the arm. That pat on the arm just made me know everything's fine. He's going to take care of me. He's a good man. Just having him pat my arm, you know, was just such a compassionate gesture. I was just so happy with the whole thing. So any of you that have not had a colonoscopy, they're a piece of cake because you sleep right through it. Oh, the prep you have to do is not pleasant, but drink it with a straw. And some people said you couldn't chill it, but I was told I could chill it. So for me to drink anything, it has to be icy cold. Okay, I'm going to get off here now. I'm going to eat a little something and get back in bed for the night. I just appreciate you guys. I appreciate all your thoughts and prayers and kind words. I am okay. All right, I'll make another. Oh, and I didn't make the chocolate pie. My sister on Sunday, she texted me and she said, you're going to make a chocolate pie when you cannot even lick the spoon because you can't have any solid food. So I thought, yeah, that's right. That's pushing my willpower. So I didn't make it, but later this week I'm going to, and I'll make a video. Okay, bye guys. Thank you.